Hey everyone, this is Rob from chainsawguitartuition.net. This video is going to be about the major pentatonic scale. There's two things you need to know. There's two things you should know about the major pentatonic scale. One, it's a major scale, and two, it's pentatonic. And pentatonic means 5 tones. Alright, so 5-note major scale, that's the simple part. The next bit gets a bit complicated, only a little bit. Basically, if you know your minor pentatonic scale, you already know your major pentatonic scale because they're the same scale. I'll probably have to explain that. Right, well, this is A minor. A minor pentatonic scale, first shape, 5th position. Right, with the major pentatonic scale, you do exactly the same 5 shapes, but you start from the second shape. So this is a major pentatonic scale. Okay, so the root note stays as A, but we're doing different shapes. So now this gives us different notes. And this is one of those things at first, it's a really weird concept to get your head around, because we've got the same shape, so surely it should be the same scale. But the answer is no, it's not, because if we look at the shapes on the fretboard, we're picking out from the A those notes, or from the A again, different notes and different frets from the A. So we've now got a different scale with exactly the same shapes because we've shifted it along. Another way to look at this is if you can go from a major to a minor key, or major to a minor scale with this, by taking this shape, the first kind of box shape pentatonic position, which you may have already memorised from the minor pentatonic, and then shift it down. So we have this shape, the important bit being 5/8 there, right? With exactly the same shape, so your little finger's there, alright? So your pinky goes to there, and then you've got exactly the same shape for 2 different scales. If you don't believe me, this is the A minor chord and A minor pentatonic scale. Okay, and now major chord and major pentatonic scale. And so it now fits over that. We can do the same thing over just the A string. And then over the A string again, and it makes it major and makes it kind of brighter. Alright, so let's go through the first shape first. So this is the first shape of the major pentatonic. We're going to start with our second finger, and we're going to use A again. So second finger on the 5th fret of the E string, and then we're going to go little finger, pinky finger on the 7th fret, then move to the next string, first finger on the 4th fret, little finger on the 7th, and then we're going to go 4, 7 again, the next string. Then we're going to go 4, 6, and then 5, 7, 5, 7. And watch my fingers for that. So I'm going, keeping my first finger there. So when I get first finger, 3rd finger for this one, and then second finger, 4th finger. Now you're not always going to play this scale like this depending on the lick you're doing. You might move that around a bit, but this is a good exercise because it gets all your fingers moving, and it's always good to work out all your fingers individually, especially this bit of the scale. It's a very good exercise. So memorise the shape, don't worry so much about your fingers. But if you really want to get a good finger workout, do it with these fingerings. Alright, so using these scales, this is where it gets good, right? So if you're playing over a standard sort of rock power chord progression, say it's an A power chord, or even the standard sort of blues, kind of those kind of riffs, where there's no kind of key, it's not particularly A major or A minor, it's just like a power chord, then you've got the freedom to move backwards and forwards between these two scales. Alright, for example, if I start on A minor, right, that's the minor sort of sound. And then I'm going to go from the minor to the major, so minor to major. Right, so hopefully now you can see, given a power chord backing, you can switch between the two and you can create major or minor tonalities for variation in a solo. Let me just go through the logic of that one more time because it is a bit kind of weird. What we're basically doing is we're taking the first shape of the minor pentatonic scale, that's the minor version, and then we're swapping that for the second shape, starting on the same note, so we end up with this. And because we've swapped the shapes, we now have a different set of notes to work from, all for that A, and this one's major. The second way you can look at it is taking this first shape of the minor pentatonic and then moving it down, so you've got, say, one finger per fret. You move that down so your little finger moves down to where your first finger was starting for the original shape, okay? So you move down, basically 1, 2, 3 frets, and now my little finger is on the 5th fret, which is the A note again. That's now the root note, and we play shape 1 again. That's the second way you can kind of think of it. As I mentioned, this introduces a concept called relative major and minor, because we've got that shape again. This is A minor. Then if we go to A major, it's now the same shapes, because we move it back 3 frets. It's now the same shape as F sharp minor. So A major and F sharp minor are the same notes. That's called relative minor. Relative major and minor they are. Alright, so if you have any questions, please just comment below. The diagrams to this scale will be on my website, just below if you're on my website. If not, links below. So if you've got any questions, just put them below, and until then, I'll see you next time.